Hi Stampers! Today I'm thrilled to showcase the delightful Stampin' Up Blueberry Bunches stamp set. This set offers an array of versatile sentiments and charming designs that are sure to spark your creativity. So let's take a look at today's card. So here's our card. It's a bit of a fun fold. I like that. I love doing fun folds. And we'll talk about all the components that put it together as we go along. So let me bring in today's supplies. So I have a card base of white, and I scored it at 4 1/4, and I scored it at 2 1/8. And the way you fold it is you just fold it in half like you normally would, and then we're going to fold this part back and just give it a good crease. So that's how our card is going to open. Inside I'm using boho blue and white, and then I have a boho layer for the front. I have a white stamping piece. I have another white stamping piece, and then I have a piece of boho blue that I cut out using the Scallop Contour Die set. Something else we're going to use in today's card are Stampin' Up's masks. Now Stampin' Up always offers in their catalogs a group of masks, and they're really, really fun to use. This one's called Abundant Beauty. It's from the Abundant Beauty set. And I'll post down below some of the cards that I made using this. There'll be a whole little playlist for you to check out. I really like using masks. For the current masks, you can look in the annual catalog on page 136, and that's where you're going to see them. They have two different sets. So there's one and there's one. And I will put a link down below in my project sheet. So again, don't forget, I always have a project sheet. It'll be listed down below, and it'll take you over to my blog where you'll have all the sizes and the supplies I used and shopping links. And this is my host code, and if you shop with me, thank you. I appreciate it. So let's talk a little bit about how we're going to do this masking. So I brought in a little scrap sheet of white, and here's my stamping piece, and I'm going to bring in, you can use tape or washi tape because I want to make sure that it doesn't move around. So I'm going to use a little bit of washi tape. And I'm just going to get some of that extra sticky off because I don't need a lot of sticky. And I'm kind of lining it up with the lines on my grid board here. And I'm just going to put a little tiny piece of washi tape on my stamping piece so it doesn't move. Then I'm going to bring my mask in, and I'm going to center it over my stamping piece. And I'm going to seal that down too, tape it down so it doesn't move. Okay, now I'm going to bring in my boho or my blueberry bushel ink and my blending brush, and we're just going to go all over our stamping piece. So I'm just picking up ink, and I'm going to go all over that stamping piece that is down below. Okay, we'll just remove our mask. And there is our stamping piece. So that's going to be kind of like our designer series paper on the front of our card. Now this mask, we just have to run under water and all that ink will disappear. Real easy to clean. Okay, I'm going to leave this scrap in here, and I'm going to bring in my other stamping piece, which is this little rectangle. And we're going to stamp in Memento Black ink. And I'm going to stamp with the smaller blueberry image, and I'm going to stamp it twice on here. I think I'll ink it up this way, make sure I get it all covered with the black ink. And I'm going to stamp it once in the upper right hand corner, and then I'm going to ink it up and stamp down in the bottom left. Okay, there's our stamped image. So now we're going to color this in with our Stampin' Blends. So I'm using light balmy blue, light blueberry bushel, and light old olive. So I'm going to color in the center of the blueberries with the balmy blue. I'm going to use the small tip. Then I'm going to bring in the light blueberry bushel. I'm going to outline my blueberries, and I'm just going to color the center in, and just be careful that you don't get too close to that light balmy blue, and you don't want to go outside the edges either, because this is a real juicy pen that I have, so it's going to really spread or blend. So I'm making sure that I don't get too close. I can always go back and fix it, you know, fill in any white spots I want afterwards. Now I'm going to bring in my color lifter, and I'm just going to play with this a little bit more and just lighten up my blueberries just a little bit here and there. Now I'm going to do the leaves in the old olive. I'm just going to outline them and color them in. Okay, so there's our blueberry image. So on this one, I didn't play a lot with the light and the dark stamping blends. I really didn't need to, I don't think. I could go back and put a little bit of the dark old olive in here. In fact, I'll do that real quick. But my blueberries are such a small area that you're filling, and you don't want to get too close. You don't want to take away from that balmy blue. So by using that color lifter, it just gave me some other shadowing and dimension that I think works really well on this card. Okay, the stamping blends really make it easy. All you do is color them in, and it just turns out really cool looking. So those are fun to use. I'm going to show you another way to use to color these in on another card this week, but today we're using those Stampin' Blends, which are really fun to use. So let's put our card together now. So I'm going to go ahead and glue the piece that deciding which way I want it to go. I'm going to glue our stenciled piece or our masked piece that we inked up on that layer. And I'm going to glue our other inked and stamped image onto this layer here. Okay, I'm going to glue this on the front of our card. That goes on that little front piece. Okay, I'm going to bring this piece in, and I'm going to stamp thank you. And I'm also going to stamp a little blueberry image up here in the top. So I'm going to bring back in my memento. Just stamp a little bit of that blueberry up there in the corner. And then thank you. And I'm going to stamp thank you in blueberry bushel. And I'm stamping right in the middle. Now I got to color those in really quick with my markers, with my Stampin' Blends. Okay, let's finish putting our card together. So I'm going to stamp our inside piece to the boho blue, and then I'm going to glue that to the inside of our card. Okay, so this front piece, I'm going to bring in a little bit of thin ribbon. So this is something I had. It's actually blueberry bushel, but it is discontinued. But I'm just going to tie a bow right around the front of our card here. And then I'm going to bring in another stamp from the set that says hello there. And I'm going to bring in blueberry bushel. And I'm just going to cut this on an angle. And I'm going to bring this piece in first before I put my sentiment on. I'm going to bring in some dimensionals. So I'm going to lay this down right where I want it to go. I'm just going to flip it over, and I'm going to put dimensionals on the left side here. And go ahead and stick those dimensionals down. And that's how the card opens, just like that, really simple. And then our sentiment, I'm going to cut it down a little bit so it's not quite so thick, so wide. And I'm just going to fit it in right there, a little bit lower, and I'm going to glue it down. Okay, and that's today's card. Opens like that. Isn't that pretty? How simple for that blueberry bushel stamp set, right? It's like, what do you do with it? Well, this is a great idea, and it's really simple and so pretty. So here we got 2 of them. So don't forget, the project sheets will be on my blog, stampinshout.blogspot.com. And don't forget to subscribe and leave me some comments, and I will see you next time. Don't be shy. Stamp and shout.